Hello, and we're live here with the under 15 gold final between Gauteng under 15A here and Natal's under 15A. I'm joined with Jade Yelseth from KZN and Kristen Croft from Gauteng. Kristen, you've got a big culture in women's touch in Gauteng. How do you rate these 15 goals chances here?
I think they have a really... Oh, they just scored. Just scored first 5 minutes.
Let's see what the final call is.
Oh no try. No, 100% it's the under 15 and they're already looking like they're playing the ladies structure, which we try and incorporate in all of the ladies games. I think they've got...
I think that's a try there. The ref's got the all clear. Yes. Try on the wing, 1-0. So they draw first blood. You can carry on there.
Yeah, no, they definitely have a great chance. They're being coached by Bassi. She's also part of the ladies structure for seniors. Yeah, I think they've got a really good shot. I'm not too sure about KZN, but from the Gauteng girls, I think they're looking strong for this game.
Okay, and Jay, tell me, how much do you think Natal work on their driving and that, and their dumps and their patterns and that? Is there quite a lot of effort put into that you've experienced at juniors?
Well, from juniors we're taught a lot about how to drive hard and fast, so we try to perfect the driving patterns so that we can get the most efficient that possible.
Yeah, it's quite a big culture in both these teams. And Kristen, which side are you representing here at the IPT?
Gauteng, definitely rooting for my under 15 girls.
And let's see if they got the same transition as Kristen's side. Has a very good ability to create driving off their line into an attack, and these girls seem to be doing the same thing here with a lot of momentum. And then they are close to the line. Let's see what they can do. Nice little switch out that they're famous for. Good setup.
Good touch. That was a good touch.
They go wide. And the call looks to be forward from the sideline. Bradley from Gauteng has also joined us. Bradley, what do you think the outcome is here? Do you know any of the results before this between these two teams?
Oh, there's actually been very tight. They've come across each other twice, I think now already, where they've drew once and Gauteng has won the other. But I believe it's just going to be a very interesting game. It's going to be very tight so far, as you can see. It's not high scoring, so let's see which team. Oh, that's a turnover. Which team is going to be able to step up today and take it?
And Bradley, for a day 3 tournament or 3-day tournament, how much do you think fitness is going to play a part in this game?
Oh, especially at this level of the game, under 15A ladies, 3 days of running, 4 games a day, definitely does take its toll on the legs. So fitness is definitely going to be a big factor in this game.
It's a very good point you brought up there, is the fact that they're part of a very big pool.
Yeah.
Lots of these under 15s have B sides and that they've been playing against. I think there's 10 in their pool. Yeah, so we're going to have to check what happens in the second half. We know that's usually the telltale sign, and we know usually the team that makes the most touches is going to be the most tired in the second half. So who can hold on to the ball? Here come Gauteng again with good hands. Something on in the corner.
Oh, unlucky.
And it's a touch pass.
I think when it comes to this stage of the game, when it is the finals, legs are tired, body's sore, so I think it comes down to mental strength. And from what I know, these girls are really tough. They lost last year, if I'm correct, to KZN in the final. So they're currently holding a silver medal.
I think in a drop-off.
In a drop-off, yes.
In a drop-off, so it's very tight.
So yeah, 100% mental strength will definitely bring the winning team out.
So we've got Natal on the line here, famous for their statics. Trying to exploit the offside defender, and they get the penalty for offsides. Let's see what they can do at the 6. And Jade, tell me, what do you think the defense will be wanting to do here?
They'll be wanting to shut off those mids as soon as possible without exposing their wings.
And it looks like they've got it in the corner there. Great static play, attacking the short side. Good hands there and a great finish there.
Yeah, that was a great finish in the corner there from KZNTA. I think the Gauteng defense is just very tight. little scared, a little paranoid about the fringes in the middle of the field. So they expose themselves on the outside. It's a great finish from KZN.
I think KZN forced that with their play, and Kim Hoff now has made it 1-1. And like we said, it's going to be a very tight game. As you can see, both these teams both getting to the lines, which is really important in this game. Gauteng really good at attacking momentum. Great hands. Hands again. And ball down. And Kristen, do you play any other sports other than touch?
Yes, I do. Currently I'm playing rugby sevens for Tux ladies. So it's quite a transition, I think, from touch rugby with no contact. But I'm enjoying both right now. Yeah.
And how do you think those sports complement each other? Do you think your rugby complements your touch and your touch complements your rugby?
Oh, definitely. They both go hand in hand. I think from the sevens, my passing has improved because it's obviously a big rugby field and you've got to make those long 20-meter passes. So that's definitely helped. And then I think the agility and speed from touch and the quick thinking has helped with my sevens.
That's a great cover touch from Grace Shepherd. Let's see what Gauteng can muster here.
Seems very much in it.
Seems to be tight. They've got the strong link there. Is she going to be exposed?
2-on-1.
Oh.
And we'll see. I don't know what the count there is, if it's 5.
What's quite cool is Michelle now with the ball. She just passed off. She played in the World Cup for the under 20 ladies and she's only under 15, which is really cool that she's starting so young. Yeah, Michelle Chedahumbe, number 2.
And someone to look out for. And it's just showing what the level has gone to. That you're having those type of players play in this division. I think lots of these players also have siblings that are playing in higher divisions, which helps them to play at this level. Jade, when did you start playing touch?
I only started in grade 8, which is kind of late for most people. And surprisingly, I made it into KZN in my first year. So from there, it's just grown and it's just become a love of the sport.
Okay, that's great. And so you say grade 8, so what grade are you in now?
In grade 10.
Okay, so good, going to your 3rd year of playing touch. And you speak with a lot of experience. Yeah, they're going to have another go. It seems like they're trying to do some Natal static play. And a good touch there. Let's hear if Gauteng can exploit these links on the side. They're finding space in the corner. And well done. Natal getting up, getting the turnover, and a quick turnover. And Brady, how important do you think these first 2 touches on a turnover is? I feel like that's where most of the momentum comes from.
Oh yes, definitely. The first 2 touches on the turnover are they set the pace for the momentum of the drive. They set the tone for you getting up the field. If your first 2 touches are not, let's say if our first 2 touches are not with the momentum and initiated, it puts your team under pressure to get out of the halves. So the first 2 touches are very vital in terms of getting momentum and getting up the field.
That's great. Well, the first 2 touches were good, and they seem to have forced a penalty with the momentum that they created.
Reset the 6 inside their half.
They've got a few touches to play with there. They're trying to get the correct middle up. It's going to the short side. It could be said they should try and hold on to it since they have the touches. The one thing about a static player is you have to move afterwards. You have to create something afterwards. So they've got the strike there. There we go. Now she's moving. Gets the pass. And that's a better effort. It is unfortunately a forward pass, giving Gauteng 10 meters off their line to work with.
Let's see how Gauteng do with their first 2 touches.
They've got the backdoor pass there, which has been read. 3, I think Natal have the upper hand on this set. They can try to stop the momentum, but Gauteng are gaining it again here. They're not going to have a lot of touches to work with, so they're going to have to create something from quite a bit further away. But that's a great run. Finding some space, needed a better pass. A good understanding of the space that was available. And great quick turnover, and we're going to get the good 2 touches again. Let's see, you have to win that first one. Have to win the first one.
On the momentum there.
And Kristen, how do you feel in terms of when you learn touch? If you watch this game, it's actually you're actually attacking the player, not the space for the initial touches. There's almost like a one-on-one battle that happens. A little bit more physical than what people think this game is.
100%. I think with that first touch, it's hard to dodge or play the one pass because you haven't got your momentum going. So as a defender, you're looking to make a hard hit, a hard touch to slow down, maybe throw them off the ball a little bit. But just definitely a lot more physical than people think. There's hard touches, sneaky touches to the hip to lock it and make sure that you aren't getting back fast enough. But yeah, it's also definitely mentally challenging as well.
And Kristen, you were fortunate enough to play in a World Cup.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, you captained your side.
Yes, I captained with Tyler Joubert, also from KZN. Okay. So we co-captained together.
And if you could compare the physicality at a World Cup level to a national level here, was it quite a big step up?
It was definitely, because you're playing with the likes of New Zealand and Australia, so they've been taught, I think since like under 9s, I guess, to make hard touches, make those clinical touches. There was a lot of diving going on, so very physical, a lot more than it is here at regionals, definitely.
Okay, and it's definitely touches. When we say it's physical, I think the refs gauge it in terms of when it's malicious and when it's actually dominating that space, dominating that area. The more the players performing the dump are looking to get next to the player to create momentum, and the defenders are trying to get in front, like KZNTA are doing there. And Bradley, you coaching at this tournament?
Oh yes, I am.
And how long you been coaching for?
Well, I've been coaching for the past 5 years now.
And there goes Natal. Good momentum, good quickie play. It shows that they're better when it's not too static sometimes. They've got their good lines.
Yeah.
And that was a try from Grace Shepherd, number 2. So that's 2-1 to KZN. KZN now turn the ball over in their attack, and let's see if KZN can rub some salt in the wound and get up to the top there. And sorry, Bradley, how long did you say you've been coaching for?
Oh yes, I've been coaching for about 4 or 5 years now.
Because you look a lot older.
No.
I feel like you've been in the game. I've seen you playing for KZN for what seems to be longer. Were you on the sidelines for a while first and then got into it? Or how did you get into it?
I've actually been on the sideline for quite a while actually. Got into coaching from helping out a lot. But yes, I've been on the sideline for quite a while. Actually been at KZN for almost going for 12 years now.
Jeez, that's amazing. And tell me, in terms of you seem like quite a fit guy. What fitness do you do outside of touch?
Oh, outside of touch, I play rugby. Still do play full contact rugby. I play inside centre, Pirates Rugby Club. So I enjoy the rugby side of things, and I love to gym. I love to train every now and then. I feel like it really does help on the touch field. Like we did say, it is a bit of a physical game.
Oh, good hands there on the wing. Let's see if KZN can regain some momentum here. And Jado, you see a lot of talking on the field here. In your experience playing over the 3 or so years that you've played, how do you find that helps in the game? With the talking, why do the players talk so much?
Well, it not only tells you, the rest of your team, what you're going to try and do and coordinate yourself, it's also very intimidating to the other team because it makes you show that you know what you're doing and that you're a strong team together.
Okay, we've got a call here from the side. Looked like a forward pass, came off a Natal hand. Natal feels it went backwards, but as in touch, the ref's call always stands. Never gets reversed there, and it's an important part of the game that the refs control it, especially in a game of this level.
Yeah, on that point, I think as good as your team is, you're only as good as the refs that are on the field, because they do call some really good calls, but some calls that you might not agree with, but you got to just keep playing, do what you do, don't let them get in your heads, otherwise it will definitely not benefit your team in the end.
I think that comes with the point that you bring up about the mental toughness, and that's of the mental toughness in terms of this game's really quick, and some of the passes, I mean, refs are also human in that they try to get the best angles that they can, and you've got to play what you see. I see we're joined by, is it Raquel? Yeah, from Gauteng. She's one of the big buddies here. I was fortunate enough to meet her at World Cup. She is, against popular belief, quite sane. Tell me, what do you think about this game? I mean, can Gauteng pull it back? They're 2-1 down. What do you think they need to correct from what you've been seeing on the side here, and what do you think is important that's in these finals for a team that's behind?
Okay, well, I think firstly they need to fix up their drive and gain momentum. It's clear that KZN definitely have majority of territory at the moment, so I really think that Gauteng need to pick up their momentum so they can pass the halfway line. I also think that, you know, they are very young. I remember when I played under 15, your nerves, you're very frantic, you know, your error rate doesn't increase and stuff. So they just need to pull it back together, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we underestimate is the stress that goes into these games. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, even though at the level that these girls are playing, they're still 15-year-old girls and that, but they seem to be holding it together here. Nice strike there, and Natal doing something important by using their touches on the line. Touch is quite a unique sport in that you can't take the ball away from the opponents until they give it to you. So if Natal can draw some time here and maybe get a try, it's definitely going to be in their favour. And that's a ball down there. Gauteng need to improve on their drive. It's all on the first two. That's a good first one. Good backdoor on the second one. Much better run. But hard work from number 6 from Natal. Sarah Bright. You'll watch her on the drive. She's got quite a lot of agility. Natal sending one player up again. They see if they can keep them up the half. Gauteng entering the half. But it looks like they might be running out of touches. And let's say we've got good hands, we've got some space. There's another pass. And the ball goes down. Gauteng very good at coming out the box. Jade, in your experience, the subbing is quite an important part of the game. How does it work? Are there some teams do partners, some teams do only positions, or is it just getting 6 on the field?
Well, in my experience in my team, it's a set pattern, so we have to take the same positions each time and try to go into that pattern and drive as hard as we can to get as much space. And it's the most important is coming up into that sub box and subbing, because if you don't sub, you're going to just run off your feet.
And Bradley, in your experience, what do you think is the best way to get off the field? Is it a pattern? Is it having a subbing partner? What do you think is the best way to get the rotation?
In my experience, the best way to get the fresh legs or fresh players onto the field would be to roll, not necessarily partners, but roll as in whoever came off first would go on first, next, etc. But a pattern is most definitely a way of getting the teams more focused and knowing what they're doing.
There we go, very big run by Gauteng number 16, and she scores from the corner.
That's Corolla.
Corolla.
Yeah.
San Martin. Great shot at the end. Found space where there wasn't space and managed to finish off the end. I think a thing that we're noticing is there's a lot of speed. There was a touch claim there. The try wasn't given. So a touch has been claimed there because there was no restart. But they score wide. And Gauteng made sure. So now it is 2-2. I think people in Joburg call that something along the lines of justice. I think that's the word that we're looking for there. Okay, but again, coming to their mental toughness, you know, we said that the refs, you know, some of the calls, it's a 50-50 call, and the call has to get made in that second. There are no TMOs here. So Gauteng did very well to accept the call that it wasn't a try and just turn it into another attack. So now we've got a very tight game. And we've got the last touch of the half. we are. Okay, and that's the half. We've got it at 2-2. A lot to look forward to in the last 20 minutes. Fitness, as you can see, is definitely going to play a part. The subbing patterns and playing patterns are going to play a massive part at the end of this game. And who's got the fight for the end? You can join us in another 10 minutes.
And we're back in the second half of Gauteng Touch Association under 15A versus KZN Touch Association under 15A. The final game of the under 15 girls division. Still sitting at 2-2 as KZN attack the line. Let's see if they can convert.
They seem to not. There's an offsides player there, and maybe for a hard touch you've got a penalty. KZN have 6 on the line now.
There goes KZN with their static setup again.
And good defense on Gauteng. Getting to their line quickly. How important is it for the attackers, you feel, to know where on the field they are and how far away from the line they are? I see they tend to be in the middle quite a lot. Can you elaborate on that?
It's very important for the attackers to have what we call as players line awareness. You need to know where the line is so that you can be executing your attacking moves much better. Knowing where to score and when to score.
I think it also brings the referee and it gives him a nice line of reference of the players offside. It looks like they dropped in there. And it's an all clear. Ball down first. There was a touch made, but the ref gives the all clear. It's 3-2. Plays it in. I'm starting to think I should have put a bit of money on this against you, bro.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to disappoint you in the end, eh? No, these Gauteng goals at fire.
Still a lot of time left in this
Lots
game.
of time left in this game.
As you know, in this game, very similar to its cousin game sevens and that it's you can score 2 tries in 2 minutes in this game, and there can be quick turnarounds. A lot of energy from Gauteng here, a lot of energy in the defense from Natal. There's a scoop. We've got an onside player who misses. Forward and down. Great move from Gauteng. Again, turning driving into attack, not allowing the defense to organize themselves and getting the roll. Really great speed shown.
And KZN is now trying to exit and drive up the field. As you see, they drive towards their sub box so they can get fresh legs on the field.
Okay guys, so I'll take over from Jared for a bit. He's just going to sort out some kids with their lunches. Brad, I haven't watched too much of the game. Good game?
Yeah, very good game. Very tight indeed, you know. KZN is, however, got the upper hand right now as the score is 3-2. But it is a very tight game. Okay. Both teams are competing and having a go.
Good man, good. Is it KZN playing a typical game? The dump in the mud?
Yes.
Very typical.
KZN is playing that very, well, we call it kind of cliche because we know it's coming.
Yes,
the dump split, static setup in the mids.
Very good touch there by the number, I think it's number 7 from Gauteng in the mid. KZN they really like to do this, sort of educate the mids and then they'll go wide. You won't be surprised if we see them go wide anytime soon.
Oh, and there we go.
6 up. Gauteng needs to get out of their half.
What are you guys? Is it possible I can get the account details?
Gauteng needs to get out of their half. Also, similar pattern to KZN. Drive to the sub box. Get the fresh legs on. Bit static, eh? It's not as fast as they want it to be.
Yeah, right? And the key thing here is the momentum, you know. You're trying to get momentum as you drive up the field.
5 touches, not even reaching halfway. Coach will not be happy with that.
No, not at all. But the KZN coach might definitely be happy with the way his team has put them under pressure 100%. To keep them in their half.
6 up. So KZN in a really good position here, right by their sub box. They'll get some fresh legs on to attack.
Inside the opposition half.
Yes, inside the opposition half. 6 touches as a touch player. That's what you want, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely a place KZN wants to be right now. Inside the half with many more touches to spare on the attack.
That's it. This is second half that's underway here. 5 minutes into the second half. If KZN can get another try here, they'll really put Gauteng under pressure.
Yeah, if KZN manage to sneak one through right now, Gauteng will really be under pressure. So, good. Oh, another great touch from Gauteng in the corner there.
Gauteng seem to have a very, very organised defence, which is helping them a lot in those static plays.
Yes.
You know, when you watch teams play with patterns like this and driving and knowing all the rules of the game and the attack and the defence, it just shows how many hours are put in actually. You know,
how drilled the kids actually are.
It's a lot of time with the coaches. I know a lot of provinces, some provinces practice more than once a week, but a lot of provinces spend a long Sunday afternoon for quite a long period of time. I don't know how you guys do it in Gauteng. What's kind of the culture with training and that there?
In Gauteng, we try to take school and stuff into consideration. That's why we train a lot of the time on Sundays. But whenever the kids are available, you know, we try getting as many training sessions in as possible. We do have leagues up in Gauteng, so we try to get our junior kids to start playing in the touch rugby leagues at the different venues, so as to get more game time. You know, because you know junior provincials does come on only once a year, so your teams do need to practice and get more game time.
I think that's a very valid point that you've put there. Game time. I think I've played a lot of sports in my life, but I don't think one is depends on experience as much as this game. You can kind of pick out those players that have the cooler heads and understand the game and know what to do at what time. So it's interesting just to later compare this 15s final to the 17s final to the 19s final and just see how, just not even athleticism and that, but just game time and playing at this level teaches the girls to play at this, and why South Africa are trying to do more and more of these type of tournaments, get more and more players playing, and to get everyone the game time so that we can start to compete with the likes of New Zealand and Australia and the countries that take the sport very, very, very seriously and great buy-in. There's a ball down, they lost the transition coming to the line. Natal are going to try and drive it up now and get off the field, get some fresh heads, fresh legs on the field. They go towards his sub-box now. We'll see. They tend to like to do what we like to call buddies. Here it is. Yeah. Two players pairing up while the rest get off the field. And then give it to the new players. There comes Grace Shepherd.
Jared, so what is your view on defensive policies or moves or structures?
Well, we're going to see how they're going to try to defend Tegan here. She's got a lot of pace, but it's an offsides call. That's what that scooper play exploits. It's a nice one to use at the end of your drive to try and milk a penalty, and Natal have done it well. You know, just like with the different policies on subbing and that, I think defense is quite similar in the way that as no defense is 100% correct, there's always going to be a weakness in it. But as long as the whole team are doing it, that tends to be what works. Oh, great cover touch by the link. The team working hard across the line. I think that's one rule that's with every defense. You're always moving with the threat, not trying to leave too much space on either side. Grace Shepherd strikes, she falls over. It looks like she's down. I do know she has been struggling with injury, but she seems to have sucked it up and ready to play. Let's see if Gauteng can keep her out here.
KZN with their static setup once again.
There's the hit. The long ball, another hands. Great finish. Was there a touch? Ref calls all clear. Great hands from Natal to score on the side. Great to see that in under 15s. In the under 15 game, then shifting the ball to the wing, which has become a bigger thing in the girls game, because I think a lot more girls are spending time passing and that. What would your message to Gauteng be now? Trailing at 4-2.
Like we spoke about earlier, a very important part of this game is the mental side of it, you know. And good teams are teams that are able to bring themselves back from the bottom and concentrate and work hard with their driving and their team structures to get up the field and try and convert. So the most important thing is for Gauteng to keep their composure and actually keep the structures that they've been coached.
I think Gauteng will draw a lot of energy from this being in their home province here. in Joburg, or maybe closer to Easterns, but obviously going to have lots of friends and family here, and you know, we could hear the crowd cheering for them now, and they've got to try feed off of that to get back into this game. Here come Natal with some fresh middles on again. It looks like Grace Shepherd's back on. Grace Shepherd's back on, and she's going to try and have another go. Slowing the game down. We've got a scooper play. Unfortunately, Natal subbed some players off, so there's no one there to collect the ball, and Gauteng have turned it over and going to try and get to the other side of the field.
Let's see if Gauteng can get their momentum and drive towards their sub box like they normally do. Get some fresh legs on.
Natal are trying to outwork them in this final. There goes Grace Shepherd up again, and we've got a nice wing up from Natal. Natal working hard to really try to keep them in this half, because they know the transition that Gauteng have and how dangerous Gauteng are once they get over the halfway line. A little bit of a sideways run, not going forward still, but here comes some energy. Great scoop, looking for space. Allowing Natal to maybe recollect here a little bit. And that's the 6. Great work from Natal. Really working hard to chase everyone down, regain control. And let's see if they can get to the other side of the field. And here come the fresh players. They're going to come onto the field as they shift off here. Here comes the buddy that we spoke about, as they hold on to the ball while new players come on. Fresh legs, fresh minds. Let's see if Michaela here, number 10, can have another scoop. Oh, it's a quickie play. Oh, they're just trying to still get closer to the line. Got a nice strong middle up there. There we go. Natal doing well to work the defense, holding onto the ball. When you're up ahead, you know that it isn't really a time limit that you can hold the ball. The defense have to come. What's the ruling in terms of the players coming off the line? How far do they have to walk forward? How fast do they have to walk forward? How does the ref kind of control that part of the game?
The standoff, I'm pretty sure it's called the standoff, the Mexican standoff. Like, you know, touch rugby is all towards the ref's discretion, you know. So the ref needs to make sure that they advance off the line until the touch is imminent. And as they advance, it has to be convincing. They have to advance convincingly, moving off the line so that the attackers have a platform to attack from.
Okay, so it doesn't allow the players to play almost what we could say like a negative defense, like standing on the try line, making it possible. It's a nice rule that's implemented, but it is to the ref's discretion. And I think like any sport, you've got to try and play it to the ref, how the ref refs it. Yes. I think Gauteng have actually done very well despite the score to stop quite a few quickies. Here come Gauteng with their momentum that they know they have. We've got someone turning it back on defense. We've got a touch. Touch is claimed, Gauteng. It was an early claim. It seemed to be 5 outs. The ref has determined that the touch was made before the ball being down. Here come Natal. Just building it up, looking after the ball. And we're getting some extra yards here. Natal may be getting over the halfway line a little bit easier than Gauteng, which is definitely going to we're going to see in the latter part of this half that we're coming up to. Can be because of legs, can be because of technique. We know in this game the tougher it gets, the more you got to stick to your guns and try really do what your coaches have worked so hard to teach you.
Yeah. And like we were saying with Kristen and Jade earlier, how vital communication is of your own. Like the players really need to communicate their players and their spaces that they're running into, etc.
We've got 6 more there. Gauteng looking for space. I think that might be something their coach is telling them, since there's 1 or 2 shooters, but that's a good line coming up from Natal. We've got younger number 4 here, working really hard to get back. Let's see if she comes forward again. There she goes in for the hands. Number 16 from Gauteng, finding space, working Natal hard. No, there's a concept called
run from Queens.
Great run, great timing, and I think something I was seeing there was the ball, when it was dumped, wasn't on the ground for a long period of time, which we know is a very effective way to get forward or to attack. Because it doesn't allow the defense to get on sides and allows the ref to call a play through. So Gauteng have been looking to do that. It looks like they've been doing it very well, and that drop ball might get Gauteng back in the game. If they can score here, it's going to be 3-4, making it very tight. As we know, these games have gone to drop-offs before, so you know, you've got to expect the unexpected. And unfortunately, Gauteng don't utilise the possession that they had. Tired players subbing off. 2 players need to control the game, but unfortunately they were under a little bit of pressure, lost control. A bit of a swiping touch. Some great pace. Number 6 always looking for extra yards. Sometimes coming back to the mark's not the best thing, but there she gets the touch. We might see a scooper play here. It's a quickie. Grace looking for space. And there's the scoop by Michaela. She's got a bit of pace. Looks for the egg pass wide. Great catch. And they give the all clear. That's another finish. That's another finish. Great little chop line. We've got some, I think it's again Kim Hoff who's finished a few there on the side. Great catch, great line, great egg pass.
And a great finish in the end there.
Great finish. And what do you find is the difference between those passes? I see the Natal girls seem to pass a lot more egg passes. I know passing is a massive part of this game. It's a difficult one to pass long.
Yeah.
But it does seem to make them control the ball. I see the Gauteng girls utilising it now. Nice and easy. I mean, the long passes really only come on the line. That's a great run. She's got space on the wing. It's a forward pass. It's going to allow Natal to get further out. There's a lot of energy coming from Gauteng box. I don't know if you guys can hear it at home.
Yep, there's lots of energy coming from the box. Feel the pressure's on now, eh?
Getting the girls to work hard, getting them to not give Natal the meters that they're getting them. If we see her, there's a touch, roll back. Ref's got them on the yards. And a great touch. What a chase, especially at this part of the game. Really good touch. Lots of commitments. That's what's needed in a final. Putting her body on the line. Again, we speak about how the physical part of this game is really underestimated. Let's see if she can keep them out here after making that big touch. She seems to have done it again. Natal needs to try find the middle of the field here. Get a bit of space. Playing the quickie player.
Quickie play.
Not enough acceleration off the quickie. A little bit slow, but one thing the play does do, it allows him to look after the ball, allows him to eat time. Grace goes the wrong way, and unfortunately the pass doesn't stick. Gauteng are definitely running out of time now to get back into this game. They really need to get over the half here.
Need to get some momentum, get into the half, and set up a strike.
There's a touch on the ball. Touch 1. As we can see in the final, the refs score nice big yards, but it's what we like to see because we get a coast-to-coast game. That is a lot of time on the try lines, low communication from the ref. Grace is pushing up in the middle there, and we've got a good touch there on the wing. Let's see who comes out the box here for Gauteng. It's number 11 here. Tegan Notch finding a lot of room. Great dump. Oh, and they had the low deck time. That was a really great setup. Could have been something promising. They had Natal on the back foot. The players who had just attacked had to defend. They're going to try and get off the field, surely.
See, as you see, each team subs towards their sub box and they drive the ball up there, looking to create some momentum for the players subbing on so that they can attack.
Here's a nice pass. Let's see if they get the 2 pass. No, it's just a dump. They're going to try and get closer to that line. Let's see who scoops here.
That's the 5th touch.
Number 11. Gabby. Has she gone through? No, it's a good touch there. We've seen Ashley in this tournament, number 7 from Natal, making some great long runs. We know with that scooper play, one advantage of it, it works the Gauteng side. They have to chase her. Gauteng are finding space with their passes. They have been known, their girls teams, to have a good little inside ball that they tend to look for. It's nice to see their under 15s doing it here. ball with 2 hands, making the defense always have to decide. There we go. And it's going to be the last touch. It's a penalty. And they have to finish the game. It's going to have to be the 1 touch. Unfortunately, Gauteng can't do anything. Gauteng can't do anything to win the game from here. Maybe they can get a consolation try, or will Natal shut them out? Let's see. Let's see. They're going wide. It's getting chased out. And there we go. That's it. Look how excited they are. Natal girls have won it again. In a bit of a better fashion than last year. They made it 3 tries ahead. I know the Gauteng girls, because of the time and effort that they put in, I feel like they felt they really had a chance, especially the games that they put in beforehand. But unfortunately, it's sports. There can only be 1 winner. Yep. I think the game was ref fairly, and I think the better side on the day won.
Well, congratulations to the Natal side. They actually really stuck it out till the end, and then they fought really well, and they deserve it. Okay, and then Bradley, you just need to tell me when I need to collect my money from you. There's a lot more games you can bet on. I think a few of the other finals you can go double or nothing. How about our own one? We can go. Maybe we do actually have a head-to-head later, so we can bet on that. Okay. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks. Bye.